I want to suggest ways that you could utilize the videos on this website and then bring in a few other resources to have Bible studies that involve a discussion of science and an investigation that'll build people's faith and help us to realize, wow, the reality of this life in this world is that there is a God out there, that Jesus is who he said he was, and man, am I excited about living, and do I have a lot of faith and purpose in my life. So I would suggest what you could do is just take like one bank of the videos that we have, like some of the ones just on biology, and spend a week on that, or just on astrophysics, or just a week on Bible prophecy, even parts of Bible prophecy or whatever. And what you can bring into this discussion or this class are a few other resources. One would be this, Genesis question, written by Hugh Ross. This is a great discussion of the book of Genesis and helping us to interpret things better, looking at some Hebrew texts and that sort of thing. Answers a lot of questions biblically as far as that goes. In addition, this book by Faz Rana, Who Was Adam? This is a great book for looking at genetics and the biology aspect of what in science points to there being a God. Another book, Why the Universe Is the Way It Is. This is a simpler book for those of us who aren't super strong in the world of astrophysics that helps us realize what the universe is telling us in regards to is there a God and how fine-tuned are things, that sort of thing. In addition to that, this is another excellent resource, More Than a Theory. This was put out in 2009 by the people at Reasons to Believe. It's a testable model of what do we think we're going to discover in the future in terms of science and how it will point to there being a God and come against the notion that naturalism explains where we're headed. Again, just recently, the discovery that junk DNA is not really junk DNA is another example of how, as we go into the future, we're going to realize, no, naturalism is not explaining what we know science to be saying. There's a God out there, there's precision, there's design, there's construction, there's complexity that blows us away. And then there's a few other resources. You've heard me mention this on a couple of the other videos. Alestra Media put out this collection on intelligent design. These are great DVDs to watch and have discussions on, and they back up some of the things we've said or whatever. There's a couple things in here that I would kind of caution you on. One of them in the discussion of transitionary fossils. I think we're going to have a hard time really winning arguments about there's no transitionary fossils out there or whatever. That's not accurate, but other than that, there aren't many. But you're not going to be able to win logically an argument where you're going to pound about transitionary fossils or whatever. You can make some good suggestions, but I wouldn't take the argument too far. Other than that, this is fabulous. And then I think the greatest resource is this bad boy right here. And don't be afraid to read the Old Testament. It's amazing. In fact, I'll even say this, just take a side note. If you think the Bible is boring or whatever, read 1st and 2nd Samuel. I think it's better than any novel, or as good as any novel you've read. It's got a little bit of everything: intrigue, romance, friendship, relationships, war. You've got it. It's a great couple of books just to say, wow, look at the character development here in the lives of real people, and how does God play into that? How does virtue and valor operate? So those are ways that you could utilize the website and bring in some resources. These are some of the resources that I use when I teach a class or when I get together with other people. There's other great resources out there that you can certainly go to. Be wise, test things out. Come back to the logic that we've shared on this website. If you're hearing things that seem a little strange, look into it and make sure that it's verifiable, that it's sound, that it lines up with Scripture, because that holy book of ours, that Bible, is amazing. That's our manual. That's what we can rely on ultimately. Good luck.